Conservative activist Charlie Kirk fatally shot in act of political assassination at Utah College. Charlie Kirk, a conservative activist and close ally of President Donald Trump, was shot and killed Wednesday at a Utah College event in an act that the state's governor called a political assassination. A person of interest was in custody Wednesday evening, said Utah Governor Spencer Cox, though no charges were immediately announced. "This is a dark day for our state," Cox said, calling the killing a political assassination. "We are actively looking for anyone and everyone who has any information related to the shooting," he said. Utah authorities said the shooter wore dark clothing and fired from a roof on campus some distance away. The death was announced on social media by Trump, who praised the 31-year-old Kirk, the co-founder and CEO of the youth organization Turning Point USA, as great and even legendary. "No one understood or had the heart of the youth in the United States of America better than Charlie," Trump posted on his Truth Social account. The suspected shooter has not been arrested, Orem, Utah, Mayor David Young said. A person who was taken into custody by law enforcement at the university where Kirk was speaking was not the suspect, according to a person familiar with the investigation who was not authorized to speak publicly. Videos posted to social media from Utah Valley University show Kirk speaking into a handheld microphone while sitting under a white tent emblazoned with the slogans, "The American Comeback" and "Prove Me Wrong." A single shot rings out and Kirk can be seen reaching up as he appears wounded on the left side of his neck. Stunned spectators are heard gasping and screaming before people start to run away. The AP was able to confirm the videos were taken at Sorensen Center Courtyard on the Utah Valley University campus. Kirk was speaking at a debate hosted by his nonprofit political organization. Immediately before the shooting, Kirk was taking questions for an audience member about mass shootings and gun violence.
Do you know how many transgender Americans have been mass shooters over the last 10 years? Do you know how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years?
Counting or not counting gang violence, Kirk asked. Then a single shot rang out. Utah Valley University said the campus was immediately evacuated and remained closed. Classes were canceled until further notice. Those still on campus were asked to stay in place until police officers could safely escort them off campus. Armed officers walked around the neighborhood bordering the campus, knocking on doors and asking for information on the shooter. Officers have been seen looking at a photo on their phones and showing it to people to see if they recognize a person of interest. The event, billed as the first stop on Kirk's The American Comeback Tour, had generated a polarizing campus reaction. An online petition calling for university administrators to bar Kirk from appearing received nearly 1,000 signatures. The university issued a statement last week citing First Amendment rights and affirming its commitment to free speech, intellectual inquiry, and constructive dialogue. Last week, Kirk posted on X images of news clips showing his visit to Utah colleges was sparking controversy. He wrote, "What's going on in Utah?" The shooting drew swift bipartisan condemnation, with Democratic officials joining Trump, who ordered flags lowered to half-staff and issued a presidential proclamation, and Republican allies of Kirk in decrying the violence. "The attack on Charlie Kirk is disgusting, vile, and reprehensible," Democratic California Governor Gavin Newsom, who last March hosted Kirk on his podcast, posted on X. "The murder of Charlie Kirk breaks my heart. My deepest sympathies are with his wife, 2 young children, and friends," said Gabrielle Giffords, the former Democratic congresswoman who was wounded in a 2011 shooting in her Arizona district. Though no motive has been disclosed, the circumstances of the shooting fueled concerns that it was part of a spike of political violence that has cut across the political spectrum. The attacks include the assassination of a Minnesota state lawmaker and her husband at their house in June, the firebombing of a Colorado parade to demand Hamas release hostages, and a fire set at the house of Pennsylvania's governor, who is Jewish, in April. The most notorious of these events is the shooting of Trump during a campaign rally last year. Former Utah Congressman Jason Chaffetz, a Republican who was at the event, said in an interview on Fox News Channel that he heard one shot and saw Kirk go back. "It seemed like it was a close shot," Chaffetz said, who seemed shaken as he spoke. He said there was a light police presence at the event and Kirk had some security, but not enough. "Utah is one of the safest places on the planet," he said, "and so, we just don't have these types of things." Turning Point was founded in suburban Chicago in 2012 by Kirk, then 18, and William Montgomery, a Tea Party activist, to proselytize on college campuses for low taxes and limited government. It was not an immediate success, But Kirk's zeal for confronting liberals in academia eventually won over an influential set of conservative financiers. Despite early misgivings, Turning Point enthusiastically backed Trump after he clinched the GOP nomination in 2016. Kirk served as a personal aide to Donald Trump Jr., the president's eldest son, during the general election campaign. Soon, Kirk was a regular presence on cable TV, where he leaned into the culture wars and heaped praise on the then president. Trump and his son were equally effusive and often spoke at Turning Point conferences.